Yes, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're welcome to Okunola Academy. Please, we create your indulgence to like, subscribe, leave your comment, and share our previous videos. Excuse me, for feedback purposes. And today we are going to be looking at research objectives and common phrases and wordings that are often used in research objectives. Recall in our last tutorial where we examined chapter 1 and we focused on statement of problem. This is a continuation of that video. As you're aware that under introduction, under chapter 1 of every research and study, we have series of sub-headings. The one we treated last was statement of problem, and today we are looking at objectives. So this, we're going to be looking at research objectives and the most common phrases and wordings that can assist you in forming your research objectives. As usual, we have lined up four outlines. One, we're going to be looking at what is a research objective, or what are research objectives as the case may be. Similarly, we're going to look at the types of research objectives, and we're going to also have a practical example of what research objective is, or how we can determine our research objectives. Thereafter, we'll go to the common phrases and wordings that are used in research objectives. Now, what is a research objective? Or what is a research objective? To understand research objective is to understand the focus of your research. The focus of your research. Likewise, to understand research objectives, you mean the goal that is meant to be achieved while you are writing your research. Thereafter, we can also say that understanding research objective is a summary of intending outcome you want to have from writing the research. That is what you intend to focus on in order to have an outcome for prediction purposes. Going further, we can also say that a research objective is the reason, the ultimate reason, or the purpose for which the study is being conducted. And in that, you can say it is the mission in focus. When you have your topic, you have formulated your topic, and you've started, and you have arrived at your statement of problem, the next thing to do is to identify the main focus, which is your objective of the study. Now, understanding research objective means that you need to know the types of objectives that are available in order for you to write your objective appropriately. Basically, there are two types of research objective. There are two types of research objective. We have the general objective and we have the specific objective. Here, the general objective, if you check other text, you find that it's also called the main objective, and you can also call it the major objective. Now, what is the general objective? The general objective is the overall coverage in length and breadth of a study. It is the length and breadth of the study you intend to write. In other words, it consists of the entirety of concerns to which the study is going to be concentrating on. So when you are saying generally, you look at the holistic approach of the topic, both the dependent and the independent variable. Now, in order to specify your general objective, the following are essential. Basically, the main objective is addressed from the point of view of both the dependent and independent variable. What we mean here is that while you are specifying your general objective or your main objective, your discussion often centers around emphasizing on your dependent variable and your independent variable, as a case may be, as when you are specifying your general objective. Also, when you are specifying your general objective, depending on your college or your school or your department or your supervisor, often the general objective may be in form of a long essay that warrants you to expatiate on your dependent and independent variable you tend to study in the work. Likewise, depending on the college or department, is either you have a long essay or there's a slightly shorter essay when you are writing on the general objective in a study. So the two can actually come in place depending on the school format, but technically a general objective is usually longer than the specific objective when it is being stated. Excuse me. So what we are saying here is that whether it is general, the main, or the major objective, when you are specifying it while you are writing your objective, they are often lengthier than the specific objective. Now, going forward, the specific objective, what is specific objective? Like the name implies, unlike the general objective, the specific objective has the following features. Specific objective is specific to the point. As we go forward, we'll do a practical example so that we'll get a clearer understanding. Also, when compared to general objective, the specific objective is technically shorter than the general objective, and often it is a one-off statement. It is a one-off statement or objective as compared to general objective. So the difference you find out that is that while general objective can be a long or a slightly shorter essay, the specific objective is often a one-off statement when you are writing your research. Now, going to a practical example, we have chosen a research topic that says agricultural financing for sustainable economic growth in Africa. Literally, by the time you see this research topic, you could deduce that what it intends to do is that how agricultural finance, or how you finance agriculture in order to sustain economic growth in Africa. So by this topic, you say that agricultural financing for sustainable economic growth simply says that how do you finance agriculture in order for economic growth in Africa to be sustained. Excuse me. Now, going forward, agricultural financing is all encompassing such that it can be broken down into its main focus. For instance, as we have here, the independent variable from the topic is agricultural financing, which is expected is that when you finance it, that economic growth in Africa can be sustained. Now, because agriculture is such a wide area, so this needs to be broken down for ease of identification. But before then, if you look around this, these arrows indicate that the general objective of this study is all encompassing. That is, you discuss the independent variable and you discuss the dependent variable as these inter relate with each other, how the independent variable will influence the dependent variable. So all of these, using the red arrow as we see here, indicate that this is the general objective that the study intend to achieve. Then going further, the general objective, which is further broken down into the specific, as the case may be, using this blue line, because agricultural financing may not be studied in its holistic approach, then they need to have specific objective in order to achieve the study. So what we did here is that we have broken down agricultural financing into expenditure on agriculture. The essence of financing agriculture is also to increase production, and possibly the other essence of financing agriculture is to be able to have excess for trade purposes. So how this influence economic growth is what the specific objective intend to achieve. So going forward, you see that expenditure on agricultural growth, on sustainable economic growth, agricultural production, on sustainable economic growth, agricultural trade, on sustainable economic growth. So all of this, as indicated with the blue arrow, is what we call the specific objective. The specific, that means we have been able to narrow down agricultural financing for sustainable economic growth in Africa to the main specific objective that the topic intend to achieve. Whereas holistically, the general objective are all of the entirety of the study as can be discussed. And recall that we said that when you're writing your general objective, depending on school, college, or supervisor, expectedly or technically, general objective can be expanded in more than 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 paragraphs, so that you expatiate more on the main topic. Whereas when you want to get down to the key objective you want to focus on, then you can narrow it down to the specific of the spending on agriculture, the total agricultural production as a result of financing, and the total available agricultural product that has been produced as a result of trade, in order to influence sustainable economic growth in Africa. Going forward, as we said the common phrases and wordings for research objective. You often see that when you are faced with stating your research objective, you often face the difficulty of using the action verbs or phrases that that is often rejected sometimes when you get to submit your research. But here we have highlighted a couple of them. There are more to this. If you read further, you will see. For instance, we say the common phrases that are often used is to examine, to ascertain, to assess, to determine. Others that can be used as listed as we can have on the screen, is to extract, to confirm, to point out, to validate, invalidate, to claim, to analyze, to affirm, to seek, to prove, to describe, to calculate, to compare, to verify, to investigate, to conduct, to appraise, or to review. There are a whole lot of them, as the case may be. So when you're formulating your research objective, it is paramount that you bear in mind these common phrases and wordings in order to vary and to make your formulation of research objective highly robust. So we believe that going forward, you will be able to specify your research objective using this tutorial, and we Hope that we've been able to assist you in how to formulate a very good research objective. Thank you once again. We create your indulgence, so please like us, subscribe to our channel. You leave your comment for feedback and please share. Thank you.